Three, two, one.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everybody out there in Facebook land. My name is Judah Hoover. This over here is my good friend Josh Weidman, and a good friend of the show, and also a good friend of mine, IRL. That's in real life for the kids that are out there these days. Chris and Mel McGeady. They no R, by the way. You're going to be tempted to slip an R in there every time you spell it or write it, but it is just McGeady. And Chris has been with us before. Chris was a firefighter in New York for a long time, and now he is blowing it up, flipping houses. He just posted on Facebook the other day one of his first flips, the check he got from one of his first flips or wholesales from like 4 years ago. And what's funny, Chris, is I mean, I don't know whether we should talk about this on the air or not, but like how much you have aged in just 4 years of doing real estate deals.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure when that memory came up, that's the first thing we said.
Right. I mean, it is amazing. Flipping real estate will put some city miles on you real quick.
It's not stressful at all, right? Just look at the two pictures side by side.
That's really funny.
I love that. I love that. 20 years running in and out of burning buildings. Meh. 4 years as a real estate investor. Aged.
That what though? Listen, I had this conversation with my wife. It's like before you hit 40, like everything works pretty well.
Right.
No major issues. And then you hit 40 and it's like, oh, my knee doesn't feel that great. Right. Oh, now my back hurts. Oh my gosh. Now I've got to take, I got high cholesterol. I'm 20 pounds overweight. And it's like hit you all at one time. It's nuts.
Right. See, I like that. Yeah. I like that better. Let's roll with that because I'm pushing 41 and I'll take
we'll say it's age, not real estate. They don't tell you that when they're selling you the books, tapes, and seminars, do they? Right. That nothing will age you quicker than stressful real estate deals. Hey, so this is the Build and Grow with Real Estate show. It is a place for real estate entrepreneurs. Whether you're a guy who flips houses or a wholesaler or a buy and hold guy, but also, if you're a service provider to the real estate industry, I think that one of the things that I've always noticed is even before I got my real estate license, I found a lot of value in realtor training. And as a realtor, I find a lot of value in my 20 years of experience of buying and selling houses and doing real estate deals. And I find that being a real estate professional and being a real estate investor, both of those things serve each other very well. And so this is a platform, the Build and Grow with Real Estate show, where however you're making money from real estate, we think that these conversations are more similar than they are dissimilar. And we can all get along and kind of play in the same pool. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we do content. Thursday, we do a guest. And Friday, we do a news wrap up. We've reversed that this week just because it worked better with a number of our schedules. And Josh and Chris and I are all extremely passionate about a project. We've each broken open our wallets and given our credit card numbers to support financially a cause that we're going to talk about here today. So this isn't just something that we're using like in-kind donations and supporting this with our knowledge and expertise and our megaphone here on this show. There is a family that is in need. It is a real estate specific need, and it's a really touching story. And we just wanted to bring Chris on, kind of catch us up. How did you? It's the I'm going to butcher the last name. Is it the Luzerne? Is that how you say?
Luzon.
The Luzon family, and you kind of became aware of this. Let's just kind of walk through this a little bit organically. How did you find out about the Luzon family?
So how we got to this point where we are now is originally, like everybody else, we were paying attention to the local governments and what's going on with the virus and everything, and the lockdowns and
right. Kind of could we go out for milk? Couldn't we go out for milk? And what's the whole thing? So you're paying attention to local news at a higher level than ever before. That makes sense.
Yeah, and I think a lot of us are at this point. Yeah. So what was happening is, as I was watching some of the meetings on Capitol Hill with the senators and the representatives, this story of this family came up, the one we're talking about today, and how they lost their house in a house fire. And that's kind of the gist I got from it from the first time I heard their story. And then I heard it again. It was about a week later that, they're trying to get this, the support money that's coming down, whether it be the relief money or unemployment. And then to double down on that, I found out that they're semi-homeless. They're basically living in a camper down by the water in their local town.
I mean, not to make the Chris Farley joke, but they quite literally are living in a van down by the river.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. So probably another time or two that I heard this story, it just, whether I turned the TV on at the perfect time or I caught this being spoken about on the Capitol Hill floor, I said, you know what, this hit me both ways, right? Their house burned down. That's my old life as a firefighter, so I feel for them there. And they need some place to go, and they want to come back into their house. So I was like, wait a second, well, this is what I do now, right? So how do we put this two together? So I reached out to Representative Russ Diamond at Lebanon County, and I said, look,
not a county you live in, you're not even a constituent of his or anything like that, but you reach out to Russ Diamond, who kind of in certain circles statewide is definitely a known entity.
Yes. So I said, look, it took a couple times to get through to him through his office. And once I did, I said, we have an opportunity to help. I don't know what that looks like crystal clear yet, but I definitely want to push for this and get this family back home. And he was ecstatic. And he's like, yeah, whatever you can do. So that's how this was born.
Okay. Well, so were you introduced to this family? I mean, I'm guessing you've connected with them. You've had some conversations with them, things like that.
Yes. So Russ actually connected us, I think, the day after I spoke with him.
Mm-hmm.
And we were able to go out and meet at the house and kind of see where they are, what they need done, and just kind of, I'm not wanting to just sit back and talk about it. I just want to get my hands dirty and let's rock and roll. Let's get it
right.
done. So it was maybe with a period of 72 hours of this being born. I was out there. Mel came with us, and we tried to put some kind of an idea of a scope together to see what needs done, and then we can come back home and kind of lay that out on the table and see what we need to get that done.
Got it. All right. So what's the game plan? Like, what it does need to get done? Like, what's the game plan with the donations? Because we're asking people to donate to this, and throw some bucks towards the cause. Now it's husband and wife and how many kids?
5 kids.
And 5 kids. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. You living in
imagine this, living in a camper. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I have 4. Josh has 3. Chris, you have 3 too, right?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
So, which is by today's day standards, all of us have big families, but could you imagine 5? My goodness, I'm one of 6, so I got a sense of what that would be like. Just the fighting and bickering alone. Yeah, we got to get these people back into their house.
And the
I'm sorry.
Corners.
Sorry,
kids never from each other.
Right, kids never bicker. No, kids are lovely little angels.
Especially in tighter quarters, I'm sure they're doing much better.
Right. That's one of my favorite things that came out of all this. If we can just inject some levity here, like the Facebook memes, like from parents to teachers. You said my child was a delight to have in class. You lied.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, what are you doing with your kids? Are they back at school, Chris?
Yes and no. So 2 of them are back in school, and one of them chose to do the online learning.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Which she's having a hard time with.
Well, you know what? It's like a whole new. It's a whole new set of challenges. So I mean, I have 3 kids going to 3 different schools with 3 different schedules, and one of them is a hybrid online offline. The other 2 are thankfully in school the whole time. I just put in the comments the link to to donate. But okay, so what's the goal here? What is our goal with raising?
So where are we at? So where are we at now? So you reach out and touch base with them.
All right, so here's the ultimate goal. I want to get this family home before Thanksgiving, and rewind, and how do we get there? So we're reaching out on two different fronts. If you're a contractor, if you know contractors and you put us in touch with them, there's work that needs done, and we can go over that in a second. The fundraiser is kind of a supplement to that. If you can give $5, $10, whatever you can give, or if you can't give anything, which I understand this has been a crazy year, forward the fundraiser. That's all we really ask. So it's either we have some time donated maybe by a contractor that can go in and do a couple of things, or we raise enough money to pay contractors and get it done. So one way or another, either budgeted or by donating some time. I see
we have contractors who are signing up. We have contractors who are signing up to work at reduced rates. We also have contractors who are donating their time, but we need to go out and buy materials. And we've got some supply houses who are donating materials at reduced rates. And the whole goal here is to just do some good, because we work towards making a profit with our skills all the time. But if we can use our ability to work on real estate projects as well as effectively communicate messages to other people, and we can help get a family that's going through COVID problems, fire problems, and job loss. It's a trifecta here.
What a unique position we find ourselves in too, right? We're all in somewhat of an educational space, and we teach people the strategies of real estate. Now we get to use those strategies with a different objective. We're not looking to purchase the house, and we're not looking to make a profit on the house. We want to use what we know how to do and get these people back home.
So how much money do you need with if let's say no contractor showed up and everything was retail, or at least your version of retail as opposed to a $100,000 kitchen,
Right.
how much money do you need to raise to get that house ready to live in by Thanksgiving?
So I have on the link, if somebody goes on the link, I have a $50,000 goal, but realistically we could probably get this done for 30 to 40.
Okay. So it's not as if it's not like the whole house burned down. It's just a good portion of it's affected, and you're looking.
It did. It's just almost built to that point. We're at a point where we're probably 2 inspections away from getting them into the house without it being 100% complete. So we're close.
Okay. That's great.
There's a basement, there's a first floor, and a second floor with like a loft space with different bedrooms. And from the bottom up, the basement is pretty much done. The first floor is drywalled and kitchen cabinets are hung. The electrical inspection just got done the other day. The plumbing is ready to be done Monday, the inspection wise. So we're at drywall, which is crazy good, because this is what, Judah, maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago we got into this.
Yeah, we've been working and we've been pushing behind the scenes. And we just kind of got to the point where we're like, geez, we need to raise some. We need to actually get this moving forward because of cold weather coming, and the only way we can do that is with some funds. And so Chris created this donation. His pushed it out on Facebook. I've pushed it out on Facebook to my circle and to his circle. I know that I've given hundreds of dollars, and so have these other 2 gentlemen as well. Do not feel compelled to give hundreds of dollars if you don't have that in your budget. Even if everybody who watches this show just donates $3 or $5, it's really going to go a long way. And I feel like that, stereotypical television evangelist saying that, or, the PBS guy, even if you want to be a sustaining member at, I love those pitches that they do. Here's the deal, though, is we can buy a whole lot of materials and then use our contractors and things like that to actually get this work done. And if you are a contractor and you can help us knock out and get some of this work done, we want to hear from you too. If you can share this link, which is right here, and you can actually read about the family and see some photos and things like that. If you want to do that as well, you can do that too.
Awesome, Taz. Thanks, man.
Yeah, Taz says that he donated. My brother Jason here says, that there is more than just monetary profits here. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we all get to join in and say that we've done something to help our fellow man. We've used our talents to help somebody else, and that just obviously feels really good. When I got started, my brother Jared and we started buying books, tapes, and seminars when I was like in my early 20s. Learned how to buy real estate. I think I bought my first rental property when I was like 22, 23, something like that. And we would go to seminars, and I saw these people, and I was like, geez, these guys are just teaching courses now because they're too lazy to do real estate deals, or they're not doing real estate deals themselves. And then after about 10 years after that, not even 10 years, about 7 years after that, I started my first real estate investors club. And I've been on the local level teaching and preaching real estate ever since. And I've had a lot of really, phenomenal success stories come from students of mine. And that just really, nothing touches your heart better than that. But the other thing is, I heard gurus say, and it's true, once you learn something that you learned from somebody else and it's worked for you and you've had success with it, you can't help but help other people. You can't help but want to give back to other people. And I feel like this charity is just one small way that we can use what we know to turn around and help other people.
Exactly right. Especially when you have a family that's so down and out. And, I know when this project started, they felt like, how are we ever going to get this done? And the double-edged sword being in the time that we're in right now with the pandemic and people being out of work for so long and then just getting back into it, people are playing catch up, and I get it. So to go out there and ask for people to donate their time when they're trying to play catch up themselves is tough. But at the same time, it's a great opportunity to, like you said, to the people that can donate anything, whether it be a share, money, or time, can only help this out. And the ROI on that is much greater than any profit we've made.
Yeah. I can't believe that I haven't been there to swing any hammers yet, but I will tell you this: I've got some really great roof putting on skills, and I'm a very good painter. My dad didn't teach me how to hunt, fish, or play golf, but my dad did teach me how to paint. So that was a lot of young boys have bonding moments with their father, sitting on the dock of the bay, fishing or cutting bait or other things like that. Now, mine was, I remember distinctly my father teaching me how to open a paint can for the first time and how to cut in and how to roll. You know what I mean? These are things that I learned from my dad at a very early age. And so, yeah, these are skills that I have, and I'm looking forward to being there to help with some of that stuff. And it's good to, like you kind of began this conversation, Chris. It's good to get your hands dirty. It's good to dig in and feel good and feel like you're doing something.
So it's rewarding, especially with a story like this. I mean, like I said, I don't mind getting my hands dirty. As far as the specialized skills, I tried putting a backsplash in our kitchen, and Mel said, please do not do anything to that family's house.
What I love about your marriage is Mel is the project coordinator. Hey, there she is. Hi, Mel. You have your earbuds in, so she doesn't even. Yeah, she doesn't even. So yeah, I think that's a great thing in your marriage is that you got fired from projects by your own wife. That's fabulous.
That's great. Look, we all have our strengths, and if yours isn't swinging a hammer, just pick up a pen. Like, you can always write a check for something like this. It's really great. If on the other hand you've got more time than money, Jeremy asked, he's pretty good at picking things up and putting them down, right? So how something like that work? Let's say, like, Chris, look, I'm like you in that I'm not really great with construction. I know how to do it in my mind, and I can do it with my hands. It just takes 10 times as long. So, on something like this, I have no problem throwing some, throwing some beams on my back and carrying them upstairs. Or what if you don't necessarily have the skills and you just want to be labor? Maybe just carrying a broom around, sweeping things up. Are there guys that on site every day that are actually doing work that you can go and help and be a grunt for?
Yeah, and honestly, the owner of the house, he's there every day too, and doing whatever he can. So if anybody's willing to help out and can be given grunt work jobs, I'm sure we can coordinate that and maybe just structure. It doesn't have to be a daily thing, right? It could be a structured day or two that we pick where a couple of people go over and help. Maybe putting my contact information, would that be okay?
That's great.
Yeah, you can also reach out to you. I mean, let's definitely we've had you on as a guest before. We should have your contact information here that we can scroll someplace.
I think this is my third time on here. Right.
So you can also reach out to Judah or Josh, and via message or Facebook. If you a lot of our listeners have our contact information, you can definitely reach out or Facebook message us or Facebook message this page, and we can get your information over to Chris. Oh, that's right. And our telephone numbers are right up above us.
That's a good point too, because the link to the fundraiser has my Facebook information on there. You can message me right through that.
Right.
There we go. Exactly. So, I mean, we live in a world right now where, if you can't get in touch with somebody, they don't want you to get in touch with them.
Right. Exactly.
So, you can, make a comment on the Facebook page, go to the site. I linked it in the comments here to make it a little bit easier. If you're, this is on all the platforms where we're streaming right now. If you have to type it in, write down the numbers. It's 327-1123-11701-200. It's just that simple.
No, it's just painfully simple.
If you don't have that memorized by now,
I don't know why we didn't think of that earlier.
Right, exactly.
Great.
Exactly.
Fabulous.
The link is in the comments. Feel free, click the link, check out the page, check out the family. There is really, this is one of those things that, like, we're coming upon the holiday season right now. We're mid-October. Really, we're 2 months away from Christmas. And can you just imagine what it would be like if, it was your family and, like, 2020 has been rough on a lot of people, but rough has been like, oh man, I lost my job. Oh man, I got to deal with these 3 kids in my 2,500 square foot house that are screaming all the time. It's not, oh man, one of my kids has online learning. Like, oh man, what a tough life we have, in comparison. I don't know what I would do if, I had, my 3 kids are nuts and I love them to death, but in a confined space, I can't imagine living in a camper with 3, let alone 5 kids, losing a job because of COVID, going through this difficult time and all this uncertainty that's going on in the world around us. Empathy is a really amazing thing. And if you can put yourself in that position, like, you really, you got to do something here. Even if all you can do is share this video or share the link and say, hey, look, let's donate. Let's, we all have a lot more connections and a lot more reach than you give yourself credit for. We're only trying to raise $50,000 here. That's not a mountain of money. Give what you can, whether it's just a share, whether it's your time with the construction, whether it's a couple bucks, a couple $1,000s, maybe you're thinking about, hey, look, we're coming upon the end of the year. I was thinking about making this donation. Now, is this a charitable organization? Is 503c? Like, is it?
Because it goes through Facebook, they can definitely deduct everything that they need.
Right. Yep. Exactly. I mean, you can have a direct impact, and instead of donating to a national organization that's, it's going to take a while to trickle down and have an effect, you can really change somebody's life here. Chris, Judah, I know you guys have been intimately involved with this project. I think it's pretty awesome. I think it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I think that, you said something there, about the holidays coming up, and, holidays are a time to gather around and be with friends and family and loved ones. It would be great for this. Think of how blessed this family would feel to be back in their household at the holidays as they come up. Plus, I know that I've been through personal tragedies. I've been through very difficult business times, and just like the weight of the world feels like it's on you. And we, especially as men, we feel that burden, we feel that pressure, we feel the need to provide for our families and take care of. And when we've failed, and when we've messed up, and when we can't do that, just how overwhelming it all is. How unbelievably difficult even knowing what the first steps forward are. And this family is feeling that right now. And I can tell you that I look back at times in my life, 5 years ago, 7 years ago, 10 years ago, when I was going through some really, really difficult times. And I know that people that reached out and helped me and did just what seemed like minor things at the time, but they just meant the world to me. And I will never forget those people. And I think that you've got the opportunity to be that person right now to somebody else, to let your light shine on them, to bless them so that they can in turn be a blessing to others. Because when the world has, punched you in the face, sometimes it's too much for you to take steps forward on your own. And it's why we as a community need to rally around. Listen, I try not to get political here on this show, but I wish that the government was roughly a quarter the size that it is. And the only way we can live in a world where that's true is if we as individuals give until it hurts. If we as individuals do sacrificial giving. The book I read actually says 10% is a good start. The book I read says that you're supposed to give until it hurts. That's the definition of sacrificial giving. And I got to tell you, when I stop and think about that, I actually am pretty critical of myself, because I haven't missed a whole lot of meals so that I could give. I feel like I'm pretty charitable, but then I stop and think and ask myself, am I sacrificially giving? And I think that this is a great opportunity to burn a vacation day and go help, or help us buy some supplies, and contribute to this cause. We've got a $50,000 goal. We're making pretty good headway towards that. And where our goal is to get these people back in their house by Thanksgiving, because Thanksgiving is the time where you rally around friends and family. We've also been very blessed. I don't know about you guys, excuse me. I haven't turned on my heater yet in my house. So I mean, we've been pretty blessed with some pretty mild weather, but colder weather is right around the corner, and we've got to get this family out of this camper and into a real house.
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, that's one of the things that, because we live with it day in and day out, you might take for granted, right? Just the fact that you can, it was 30 degrees last night, I can turn my heater on.
Right.
That might not be an option. And the fact that we made our goal, which is realistic, we made our goal to get them in before Thanksgiving. It's that it adds that excitement. It's the storybook ending, right?
Yeah, that's great.
Back home. Yep.
Yeah. So look, we all have a opportunity to be a part of that storybook, and be a part of that effort. Again, if you can afford it, give something, whether it's $1, $10, $100, $10,000. If that's within your reach and within your budget, you can go onto the Facebook page and donate, tax deductible donation, or if you don't have the piles of cash lying around, or you just can't afford it right now because you're going through some tough times yourself. One of the best ways to get over feeling sorry about your situation is to spend time helping somebody else.
And I got to tell you, Josh, you're so right. Keep on talking about that, man, because that is what you. I know you've talked specifically about that in the past, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, you think about it. It's so humbling. Okay, my wife and I are looking at houses right now, all right, and Judah's helping us with that. And we'll sometimes complain about the size of our property. It's like we don't have enough room, so we're looking for something that's probably not twice the size, but close. I can't stand my kids bickering at each other. A week ago, we spent some time with some friends of ours who have the same number of kids, the same exact ages, and their house is smaller than what we live in, and they're just happy and they're fine with it, and it's great, and they got a great house. But I'm looking around and it just made me realize like how blessed I am with what I've got, and even though everybody, we all have a propensity to like want more or whatever. And sometimes we feel sorry for ourselves. It's like, oh man, that guy's got a Maserati. I only have a Porsche. What's wrong with me? You know what I mean? It's like, but especially when you're feeling the worst, when you can go and help somebody that needs help, it makes you feel better about yourself. And, and yeah, it's a function of, helping somebody else, but it also makes you realize that like, no matter how bad you might feel about your situation or yourself at that point, it's not nearly as bad as it could be. There's always worse, always, and we've all have blessings, just like you're saying, Judah. Like, my goodness, my heat comes on when I turn it on.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I want to take a shower in the morning. I got warm water. It's amazing. Right. There's just amazing things that, we can all be thankful for. And if we've got challenges in our life, that sometimes the best way to overcome those is just help other people.
Yeah, and just feel good. Like it's almost like that, post-workout high that you get. You know what I mean? Like you can't really put a finger on it. You can't really describe why you feel good, but like you just feel good after you've been able to bless somebody else and after you've done something. So especially if you yourself are hurting, it's a good idea and a good thing to do to help others. And so that's the show for today, guys. Shifting gears, Josh and I are going to continue to push an event that we're doing here in a couple of weeks now, starting November 2nd. We are going to be doing a Facebook Live challenge. This is our first Facebook Live challenge that we're doing. The reason we're doing this Facebook Live challenge is because number one, it's going to give us a whole lot more flexibility. The Facebook Live challenges are going to be a lot more focused. The Facebook Live challenges are going to allow for a lot more interaction with the group. There's a lot of benefits that we're going to get for doing a Facebook Live challenge. It's totally free. All you do is go to Build and Grow with Real Estate, plug in your email there, and what we're going to do is we're going to email you an invite to the private Facebook group, which is where all the content is going to be delivered during that week of November 2nd. So you want to get registered for that. This is an awesome time to be buying and selling real estate. We're going a little bit long today, so I don't want to spend too much time talking about this, but the Facebook Live challenge is how to flip houses without cash, credit, or criminal behavior. We're going to begin on November 2nd. It's only going to be a week long, and I guarantee you guys that we are going to be putting together a roadmap with meaningful action steps on a daily basis.
That's right.
Holding you accountable to make sure that you take those meaningful action steps on a daily basis to get you a breakthrough, to get you to your next real estate deal.
That's right. Yeah. Well done, Judah. Chris, thanks again for being on. Thank you guys both for your efforts on this. Facebook family, please make sure that you check out the Facebook donate page. If you can afford it, donate a few dollars, donate a few $1,000 if you can afford it. If you can't afford the money, put in some time. And if you can't afford the time, share the link and, invite your friends to help, because this is a really, really important cause. Guys, thanks so much for joining us today. We really appreciate you.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah. If you enjoyed the show today, don't forget to like and share, and have a great weekend. We'll be back Monday. Judah?
Don't go anywhere, Chris.
All right.
See you guys.
See you guys.